My mic was still muted. That's unfortunate. Day 2, though. Day 2. Why is this negative? Hold on. This is zeroed. This needs to be on 3. There we go. Technical difficulties. Part of a stream. For sure. But yeah. Day 2 of the Rainbow Challenge that we're doing for Blaze Black 2. Hopefully this day goes significantly better. We lost the first 2 attempts. Technically 3, because we're on attempt 3. So we lost the first... Excuse me. We lost the first 2. We're on attempt 3. Attempt 3 is going pretty decent as comparative. Because we've actually found the herdier. So we're not completely screwed. Yet anyways. Also, if the volume's a little weird, let me know, because it's a little hard to tell. It peaked for a second, but I'm not entirely sure. You threw frustration at me? Okay, that's rude. Oh. We don't get an encounter here, I don't think. I think we've already got our encounter for this, but unless this is a different part. If this is a different part of the ranch, then we do. But I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember if I've... I genuinely, that's... Fuck, I can't remember if I've gotten my encounter for this route, because I don't have a list. I should probably make a list. I really and truthfully probably should, but I'm not gonna. I don't have time. Really, honestly, between working and trying to sleep, I don't really have time to make the list. I have time to stream, because I'm off. But, you know, that also takes time, so. Excuse me. Aw, damn. I was gonna get that item. Well, I'll loop back around for it. There's no reason not to. Oh, there's a fucking Sweetle. Or Swaddle. A Seawaddle. Sawaddle? That. Sawaddle. There we go. Oh wait, fuck. I can't run away. Oh no. I guess I could have killed it. I could have killed the Swaddle for XP. Rep. Found a Pokeball. Nice. And now we go down here. And we talk to Alder. And then... I guess we go in there. Oh, nice. It's an X speed. Fuck yeah. Oh wait, what's back here? What is this? What is this? There's trees. Is this like a honey tree place? Or is this endgame content? Because if it's the honey tree place, that's... I think this is endgame stuff, to be honest. I'm not entirely sure. That's just the vibe that it gives me. So I'm gonna walk away from here. And I'm just gonna go back in the house. I'm gonna go back in the building. And I'm gonna see what Alder wants. And we'll go from there. Oh shit. Yeah, what's good? No face cam. I got distracted. My apologies. I forgot to look at chat. How's it going, Tax? How's it going? It's cool you're actually streaming again. I know. I've been wanting to. I just really and truthfully I hadn't had the energy. But yeah, no, Mariki, no face cam today. Black and White is a really good gen. Honestly, I love Gen 5. People give it so much shit, but it's like, it's really not that bad. I love it, personally. I'm terrified, though, because we did almost lose Attempt 3 last time we streamed. And it, like, that scares me, because I don't want to die. Also, I have hot chocolate, and it's amazing. I love the hot chocolate. Also, is the audio okay? I can't actually tell if it's balanced. If it's not, let me know. Oh, nice. We got the special attack drop. Fuck yeah. Oh my god, the fucking Weedle putting in work? Let's go. No shot. It crit. That's fucking... Let's go. Yo. Hell yeah. I also hate Twitch. Sometimes I hate Twitch as well. I hate that it's doing the ads, because I tried to tell it no, and it literally just, it refuses. I'm gonna see if I can't figure that out real quick, actually, because that bothers the shit out of me. That's gonna kill the audio for a second, but, you know. I don't know. I thought it would be fun. I thought it would be cool. That's why I did that. I'm trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with this. Okay, in theory, yeah, no, I know the game is muted. The game was muted because it was like crackly. The game audio was crackly on my end. Game should be unmuted again. The ads are over. The ads should be dealt with. Hug to show appreciation. Yeah, we like Twitch when the ads cooperate. We don't outspeed. Fuck, do we die to the tag? Oh! Oh no, please! 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 Oh my god. Holy shit. Yo, what's good, Rack? Hi, Moose. Lemon Lime energy drink? I like energy drinks. They're cool. I like him at Lemon Lime. Yeah, get his ass. I'm saying, bro. Hold on. Fuck him up, dude. Oh, easy. Easy victory. We take those. I destroyed the child. Yo, I'm evolving. Let's go. Your name is not Rack. Patrick Star Wrestling Clip. Fair. Do you like Monster? Like the meme? I don't guess I know the meme. I have no idea. Also, it evolved into a like a Kakuna, but now I think it's kind of more useless, honestly. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got this big red bar. Your screen's Twitch being sensitive. You don't like ads, Mario. Lol. You don't know the meme? I don't guess I do. If I do, I can't remember. I'm gonna be so honest with you. It's like, I'm drawing a blank. Did you not learn from what the other person did? Like... Oh, shit, yeah, that was a good crit. Okay, we got the speed decrease. This is good. I think we do... If we do bug bite here, if we... Oh, we do outspeed. Okay, cool. I think we die here. I miscalculated. That's unfortunate. Oh, that sucks. I hate that. I really do. I mean, at least we got Pringolin safe. Do you know about Ponsuke, and Agu the seals? I don't believe so. Do I know about Nico the seal? Not as far as I can recall. If you met Eminem, what would I say to him? Honestly, probably just that, like, I like his music. And that, like, I think he's pretty cool. Really and truthfully, that, like, there isn't really a whole lot I would say. Do we get rid of the guaranteed attack drop? That's the question. Because I kind of want Water Gun. But I don't know what to get rid of. I guess we get rid of... Okay, hear me out, right? We get rid of Growl. Because I think we can get other attack drop mobs. So, there's awesome seals. Cool. I mean, that's sick. I don't know. I haven't, like, looked into it or whatever. Like, I don't know anything about it. Also, level 10. Fuck yeah. I keep forgetting to change this battle mode to set. I need to do that whenever we finish this battle. We keep saying we're going to, and then we don't. It's kind of silly. Nico Day keeps Latek away, or buffing attack. Growl is a throwaway move. It's all about status effects. Which is worse, funk or opium as music genres? I would say opium. Like, I don't really hate funk, honestly. Funk's kind of weird, but it's not bad, if you know what I'm saying. It's like, it makes my brain itch in a weird way. Growl isn't something that I hate, but it's like, it's kind of useful, but there's also better status moves. Really and truthfully. Do you listen to Ken Carson? What kind of funk do you like? I guess you could say drift funk. That's like the best thing I could think of as far as like a description for that. And that's not even entirely accurate, I don't think, honestly. Do I listen to King Carson? I do not. Like, we don't, as far as I'm aware. We could be wrong. I don't know. You want attack? You used to not think too hard about it this early in the game. Just add all attack moves. That's fair. I don't want to just do attack moves. That's the thing. Is like I like status moves, but it's like it's a little hard to figure them out sometimes because I don't always know what they do. You know. Like I know type matchups, but I don't necessarily. I don't know. Oh, it's the metal dude. Fuck yeah. Little metal guy. He gives a little box and shit. Like the achievement system. Okay. It's like the starting medal. Yeah, the first step medal. Okay. What is the Watto thing? It plays a noise. Hold on. Would you go back to Fortnite for the new OG mode on December 6th? And if so, would you stream it? I wouldn't really... Yeah, I was gonna say, I didn't really play Fortnite to begin with. But, I've played it a couple of times. I used to stream it back, like, super early on when I started streaming. But I also used to stream Warzone, so that was just a time in my life. But the Watto thing is like a sound alert. I'm not entirely sure if it works. You're welcome to give it a shot if you have the points for it. If not, we can refund them. Like, if you use it and it doesn't do anything, we can refund the points. Yeah, see, it's a sound. We also have text-to-speech, which I forgot about. But that's cool. You remember wearing links at the time? Yeah. Oh, shit. Wait, so then that's been a while back. Holy. At least I think it has. If that's as late as I'm thinking, then that was a while back, yeah. It popped up, but it didn't make the noise. It did on my end. Hold on. Remember seeing... Yeah. Hold on. Let me see if I can't fix that, because I'm hella confused. If the audio goes crunchy, I apologize. It also plays a sound alert. That's what it does. Hold on. Let me see if I sound alerts. Oh my fucking god. Game? Hello? Audio, please. I'm muting the game for now, because that shit is... Whatever's happening on my end, I hope isn't happening on y'all's. Kind of, actually. That is really bad. I mean, I could. I could, but I won't. Hold on, so I just muted the game because it was crackly and stuff. Is there no audio at all? Yeah, no, when the audio disappears, that's because I'm muting it. Is the sound alert not making noise? Like, is it not showing up for some reason? Give me just a second. I think I know what the problem is. I'm stupid. Hold on. Oh. I didn't know that I was silent too. Oops. That's not good. I don't know. I don't know why Sound Alert is being stupid. It's... Hold on. Maybe if I try this? Can someone test one of the Sound Alerts real quick if you don't mind? It doesn't matter which one, but I think I figured out why it wasn't getting audio.
Wow! Silly Marika played 2 hearts wa tilde 02 hearts for 150 channel points.
Well, that's odd. Hold on. That one worked? Are you sure? Because I didn't hear it. If y'all did, that's cool. I didn't hear that one. Okay. Slightly scuffed, but that's fine. It'll be okay. Anyhow. Back to the game. Oh, fuck. The Baggin's using Rage? I really, really don't like the fact that this thing's building Rage. Oh, wait. Why am I using... Fuck. The Kakuna is supposed to be dead. This thing died. Why am I using it? I was supposed to put it in a box. That is my bad. Maybe look into how to make everyone here after stream? Yeah. No, I'll look into it afterwards. If it's working, then it works. But, like, I'm not super worried about it right now. I completely forgot that the fucking Kakuna was dead. So I used it like a dumbass. Oops. I think I have to go to Flow-C. Hold on. No, I want to go to my bag. I want to go to town map. So I have to go to Route 20 to get to Burbank. Okay. So then, if I go this way, can I just go this way? Just go across. Oh, okay. Fine, whatever. I forgot that that's a thing. I'll go to the fucking trainer school, I guess. First, I'm gonna go put the fucking Pokemon that died in the box before I forget again. Dun-dun. Okay. There we go. You don't think that one played? Oh my god! Hold on. try it now. Maybe. I'm sorry that it's not working. It's a little annoying. Yeah, that one didn't play noise at all on my end. Hold on. I'll see if I can't figure it out real quick in the settings.
Wow! Moose _ Eminem Susie Mercroft played 2 hearts wa tilde 02 hearts for 150 channel points.
The thing is I don't want to turn on desktop audio because I'm scared that'll break it. It's a little annoying that it's not working. I hate this. Technical difficulties. Hold on. Okay. The audio channels are all set like they need to be. I don't know. It's weird that they're not working now, though. It's a little confusing. I'm trying to figure out how to get to Burbank at this point, honestly. If I get to Burbank, I know for sure I get a new encounter. I killed our encounter on Route 20, we don't get one. But I'm trying to find this fucking gem so I can actually try to... Which I think we're gonna wipe anyways, because we're only 2 Pokemon able to use. Dun, dun, dun. But it's worth a shot. Oh nice, the Ko-Fi bot fucking works. Of course it works. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know why the sound channel bit is being weird. It might be something I have to look into after stream. Because I think it's like a setting that I have to change in Twitch itself. How do you get to fucking Burbank from like actually, because I have to get the, I imagine it's past the one fisherman dude. Where's the gym? Is it back out like past this town? Is it back all the way? Am I silly? Have I forgot? Okay, yeah, I literally just didn't go far enough. Sure. Yeah, I'm sorry about the thing not working. Put XXX Tentacion. Fair. Oh shit, there's the orange berries. Fuck yeah. The shame that we can't catch the Kricketot. We can, however, kill it. If milk goes bad, it becomes yogurt. Technically yes, but technically no. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Technically yes, but technically no. Is that just like a solid no? Is that like non-negotiable? Speaking from experience? That's what I want to know. Because, like, it's so. That's fair. But also, you know? That's so not how that works. No, that took such a drastic turn. I mean, fair, but also, what the fuck?
Moose _ Eminem Susie Mercroft played 2 hearts wa tilde o 2 hearts for 150 channel points.
Because I'm gonna be sad if it didn't. I didn't mean to tackle. Ah! Oh shit, it did like half. Okay, maybe tackle was the move. Fuck. Fuck. Oh, please? No! Stolas, no! Fuck! So up there was saying, but she is probably supposed to be moldy. What is my favorite Pokemon? Oh god, I have no idea. That's a good question. I don't know. Also, because Pringle has ass physical defense, she's probably gonna get wrecked, and we're kind of just SOL. I think we wipe here. I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh. That wasn't even a crit. Yeah, no. You're talking to Crypt. It's me. Fuck. That's a rope. Dead, apparently. Dead Pokemon. Very dead Pokemon. Any Pokemon that isn't Gardevoir or Lopunny, fair. I'm gonna test a theory. No. Okay. Or Vaporeon. Vaporeon is kind of honestly just like a weird Pokemon in general. Vaporeon's weird. It doesn't make sense. Did I count one up? No, I did not. Okay. There we go. That's fair. Honestly, that's a pretty solid way to look at that. Also, do we go with Tepig again, or do we swap it up, and do we go with a different Pokemon, and just, choose colors differently this time around? Because technically, we don't have to do color order off the original start, as long as we have the color order eventually. Type shit, you know what I'm saying? Shiny Mega Gengar. Shiny Mega Gengar is amazing. Anyhow, we should make a poll. I don't know how to do straw poll, but we should make a poll, and it's like exclamation point poll something or other. Mudkip and Scorbunny, solid choices, both really solid choices. I don't know how to set up a poll, and I probably should, but I don't, because it's been ages. I do like Zoroark, I do. Also, yes, Spiel? Metagross? Metagross? Metagross is sick, dude. Metagross is amazing. Anyhow, who do we start with? Who do you guys think? Because we could run it back. We could run it back with Tepig, or also maybe poll new, and then like a name. I have no idea. You love Metagross? That's fair. Hold on, let me try something. Starter. What the hell? Did that work? Hold on. Exclamation point, poll, new. Starter. There we go. Okay, this gives a guide. Cool. It's like debugging and fucking coding, but kind of more complicated. Prime subs are so honorable. This is entirely true. Prime subs are dope. Also, if you guys do, like, so if somebody subs or something and I don't hear it, I apologize. Like, wholeheartedly. If I miss something like that, somebody please call attention to it, because I would feel so bad. Like, kind of actually. Also, fuck the ads. Why? I don't think it necessarily needs the... I don't know if it needs the dashes, if that makes sense. There we go. We can have chat vote finally. Did it break? Did we do something bad? Or was it just confusing? Was it like a typo? Doesn't Twitch have a better poll? I mean, I'm sure it does, but I don't know how to use it. And I can't fucking... I hate this. Hold on. I have to fix something with chat. But yes, normally Twitch has a better poll. I don't know how to use it though, I'm gonna be real with you. So far, Otter is winning. Okay. How long do we want to let this run for? Because I don't want to just, like, let it run for, like, an hour. That'd be pointless. We don't need an hour-long vote for a starter. I don't know how long to let it go for. Probably, like, a couple of minutes, maybe? Just to give people time. Otter on top. Alright, fuck it. Let's do Oshawott. Alright, what are we naming it? Give me some name ideas. What are we naming them? Oh, hold up. Do I have to reset? Did somebody get a swap? Eminem the Oshawott. Eminem, okay. 2. That's 2 votes. Oh, wait. This work. Yes. Okay. There we go. I guess we're naming the Oshawott Eminem. Stream stickers disabled. Stream stickers disabled is that's kind of intentional. Why did I name Tepig Stolas? Just a thought. It's just kind of the name that I had because there was nobody voting and I didn't have like polls set up and stuff. So I just kind of named the first couple. And that was kind of what I went with. And then it fell off as of recent, one could say. Fair. There was an attempt to be edgy. There really was an attempt. Fair. And it kind of sucked. That, yeah, fair. Honestly, I can't get mad at that. That's just accurate. Oh. Okay, let's go this way. Let's do our rival fight, and hopefully we get out of the rival start. Hopefully we can actually get past fucking Gem 1 this go around. Polls are apparently just /poll. Oh. Cool. Do we crit off rip? This is yeah. Okay, bet. Easy. Also, for a random topic to talk about, so as to encourage conversation, what is everybody's favorite foods and or snacks? Also, what shows are people watching currently? Because I'm trying to find new stuff to watch, and maybe stuff to snack on, and I want to see what people are up to. Finished Arcane Season 2. Okay. Arcane Season 2 is cool. I haven't actually seen Season 2. I need to watch it. Please, no spoilers. Obviously. What is this prediction for? Will Eminem survive past the first gym? Yes, we win these? Or no, he fell off. Arcane was a thing. I need to watch it. I can. I have access to it. I just haven't yet. I should. Have I watched JoJo's? I've started it. I've gotten like 3 seasons in, and then I stopped because I stopped being able to hang out with the person who I watched it with. Because I stopped going to the college. I'm gonna be so for real with you. It's all Jace's fault. Fair. Locked into a deep woken. Bochi the Rock. Jace? Oh. Started watching Dandadan recently. Or Dandadan. That's fair. It's really good. I've heard some good things about it. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it, but I've heard some good things about it. As for Arcane, I plan to watch Arcane. Bochi the Rock I've started. I have access to it on Crunchyroll, courtesy of Nexon. Thank you. Very much appreciated. You should watch Little Witch Academia. I have watched Little Witch Academia, and I love it. It's amazing. Little Witch Academia is so good. It's kind of weird. Fair. Most anime recently has been kind of weird. On the topic of things like Little Witch Academia, can we talk about, like, Little Witch Academia, first of all, but also, can we talk about, like, Ghost in the Shell? Can we talk about fucking Afro Samurai? Can we talk about Cowboy Bebop? Like, come on now. The guy in Dandadan gets his... Oh my god, Wow. Okay. Iwa was the goat? Fair. I mean, yeah, fair enough. It's freaky. Hey, I mean, look, he has a quest to find his boss. He what? Look, I have no issue with freaky. That's not a thing. That's not a problem. But the thing is, right, is it like, wouldn't want to watch it around, like, you know, like, wouldn't want to watch it around people, or like, what's the vibes, you know what I'm saying? What are we looking at as far as situation? It's fun freaky? Okay, fair. Give me that oh shit, we got a bicycle in this bitch. Again. Yeah. You made it weird. First episode is a weird scene, but after that, it's like very watchable around other people. Fair. Yeah, it's like, Also, I'm hoping we can actually... Okay, so here's the thing. With I say Rainbow Challenge, it's really not, like, specifically, oh, we need to have it in color order. We can. But if we just want to have, like, all 6 slots be one of the colors of the rainbow, then, like, you know what I'm saying? We can just do it like that, so that we get a variety of, like, team lineups kind of early on. But that's up to y'all. That's, I'm good for whatever. I don't really have a preference. Your favorite character in WLA? Honestly, Susie. I think that's her name. I want to say it's Susie. Hold on. Give me just a second. Yeah, okay. Susie. And because this just kind of the vibes. I felt really called out. Stream started lagging. Yeah, Susie. It started lagging because I opened up Opera. It's been getting mad at me every time I've opened Opera. But, yeah. No, just the vibes were there, honestly. Do I have Pokeballs? I'm pretty sure I have Pokeballs. Hold on. I have 30 of them. Alright, let's do this. What is our first encounter of the run? What do we think we're gonna get? Also, hold on. Before we get our encounter, let us see what Eminem's nature is. An adamant nature. Can somebody look up a chart? The typing, or not the typing, but like the nature charting, so I can see what the stat spread is. Oh, that's pretty decent. Oh, yo! Fuck yeah, that's insane! Shell armor goes nuts, dude. Hell yeah. Yo, this is the run? Just easy? This is the run? What is our first encounter? Let's do this. Okay, it's the Bidoof. Oh no. Okay, we're good. Moody. Ooh. Okay, that's fine, because he doesn't do special attack. Hey, we one balled. What do we call the Bidoof? Like, also, this is technically our orange. Because there's not really a brown. So what do we call this thing? Toasted mallow? I don't think we have the slots for that. I'm gonna be so real. Cause it, like, hold on. I can see. Toasted. Maybe if I abbreviate. Toast mallow. Okay. Akko. Also good. I kind of like Toast Mallow, because, like, it looks like a cloud. I won't even lie to you. I don't know. I'm good for a bunch of, like, there's a bunch of different options. I want to see if Toast Mallow fits, because if it does... No. Technically it does. I just have to, like, really abbreviate. It was worth a shot, though. I don't know if the abbreviate would be worth it. It was so close. What do we go with instead? Because we have Akko as a suggestion. I could name it after somebody if y'all wanted. Like, we could name it after some chat. We could think up a name. Bunch of different options. Also, what's everybody been listening to? Like, have you guys been listening to music? Have you been listening to audiobooks? Moose? Okay, I could see Moose. Because it's a mouse Pokemon, but also name it after Moose. Femtinol? No. I don't think. Also Kricketot, so definitely a better encounter than the Kricketot. I won't even lie to you. Kill the Kricketot. Blood for the blood gods. I think even with the, I think even with the -1 to attack, it's still gonna kill. Also, level up. Whoop whoop. Oh, we learned water gun. Fuck yeah. Stab. Hell yeah. Let's do this. Grab the potions. We have 2. Also, how's everybody's night been? I didn't think to ask. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well, for those of you that are in school, that are, like, on campus and stuff, that are around. I hope that break's going well. If you're not in school, if you're working, then I hope work's going well. Especially with the weather doing what it's doing. Yeah, I was gonna say, I figured you guys were on break now, but I wasn't entirely sure. Also, we hit the first hour. We are an hour in on stream today. Also, Chromecopia and Kendrick, fair. Chromecopia? No, but Chromecopia does seem interesting. Kendrick, I've listened to like 2 songs, and it's the same 2 songs, and it will probably only ever be the same 2 songs. But, like, there has been an attempt. Which songs? Pride, I wanna say. Or the one that's like something about pride or whatever. That I don't remember the name. And I think mostly only that one. I'm gonna be for real with you. Like I've listened to clips of other songs, but I haven't actually. Good one? Yeah. I don't know, it's like, it's nothing against Kendrick, it's just like, I haven't had time to really explore his music, and it's like, I have other music that I want to listen to in the time that I could be listening to that. Does that make sense? What about Pimp a Butterfly? I have no idea, but I'm intrigued. Also, we're running it back against fucking... Who's this little brat? We're going up against youngster Terrell. With the Pat Rat. Fuck him up, Eminem. Kill this little rat. We got places to go, come on. Oh, dude, that crit almost one-tapped. You eat Pat Rat? Why do you eat the Pat Rat? Also Zigzagoon? Why do I keep forgetting to swap it to fucking set mode? Somebody remind me after this battle, please, because I'm gonna forget again. Okay, so we're at -2 defense. System of a Down? I do listen to System of a Down, Marika. I do. What is set? So it's like, set mode is when you throw out a Pokemon, you don't get to swap in between them throwing out Pokemon, so you don't get free swaps. You have to, like, if you want to get a free swap, quote-unquote, you have to, like... You have to earn it, essentially. Deep Woken OST. You know what? Hey, dude, send me a link. You have my Discord. You have our Discord. Send us a link. If you want, like, if you want to send it. Either send it in the server or just DM it to us. We don't have a phone anymore because of some shit that happened recently. But we have, like, our computer and our laptop and shit. Also, Purloin for the purple could go kind of crazy. But it's like, do we really want the Purloin? You know what I'm saying? Fem get broken? Not quite. It got stolen while we were at work. a lot happened. It is what it is. I'm gonna get a new one pretty soon. So I'm not super worried about it. Also, gonna murder the Pidgey. Also, we hit through the decreased accuracy. But yeah, no, sketchy gas station aside, it's just kind of, yeah. I don't know. Why do you eat the Pidgey? Also, ow. That was super effective. That didn't even really do a whole lot. Why was I owing? That was soft as fuck. Why do you eat the Sunkern? Don't! It didn't do anything. It's adorable. It's not for consume. It's not for consume. Also, we're fighting youngster Petey. Fuck him up. I'm gonna swap in Moose. Oh, it's free. Okay, we're good. Send some song requests in the server. Gotcha, gotcha. I'll check them out whenever I have time to open up the Discord. Which I think I technically have it open currently. Gonna send a couple too? Go for it. If y'all are doing that though, please make sure that they're in the correct channels. Because I've noticed recently that people in the server have been putting stuff in the wrong channels, and it's kind of a little bit annoying, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I know the server is inactive and stuff, but like, you know? Also, Eminem got hypnotized. Let's see if they fall victim. Okay, I'm treating Flossy Ranch as a new encounter. But we only get one encounter for the entirety of Flossy Ranch. Does that make sense? So, we're gonna go ahead and grab our encounter. Oh my god! Yes! Oh, holy shit. Ow. No! The fucking Riolu new counter. And then of course we one-ball the Riolu. Why? What the fuck? Eminem. Please. God damn it. What do we name the fucking Riolu? What? God damn it, dude. RIP. R.I.P. Eminem. Name it after a different rapper? I don't know too many of those. You know what? We could do Logic for Logic de Lucario. Can name it Bath? I could name it Baffy. As in, like... Here, hold on. B. This fucking controller doesn't always like to cooperate. E-H... Where's the H? There it is. Balf? Balf or Balfy? Also, Ludicrous works too. Okay, between Bath or between Ludicrous? So, between Balf or between Ludicrous? Balf? Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna type it out. I'm gonna let other people vote. I'm gonna let other people do their thing. Personally, I'm leaning towards Balf, but that's just me. That's just, you know. For more confusion? Why are we trying to confuse the opponent? Balf. I think this is what we go with. I think this is our Riolu's fate. I really do. I hate it for it, but yeah, I think this is... Oh, fuck. We might be hitting attempt 5, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Fuck, dude. I need to at least get a gem. I can't be this bad. I know the game's hard, but god damn. I don't know what else to do. Really, I lose a Pokemon either way. Fuck. Oh my god. I don't think we lived this because I can't heal. Yes, I have a potion, but it's one of the hardcore rules. You can't heal in battle. Oh, oh my god! Please. Oh my god, Moose is built different! It critted! Oh, I don't like that. That's minus. Fuck, 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 fuck. Moose is absurd. Dude. Dude, 3 health. Oh no, we're screwed. I don't think we can get that many Leers in a row. Wait. Wait, please. Did the sound play? It didn't. Oh my god! Oh shit! It's so little damage! Oh, the Oranberry. No shot, we just juggle back and forth, huh? Okay. I don't like the minus defense. I'm so fucking horrified right now. Oh my god! Moose is absurd. Please. Please, one more turn. One more. One more turn! Holy. Oh. Fucking hell, Moose. Oh my god. Dude, he clutched on 3 HP in a dream. Do you know how rare that was? He no-damaged that, I think. He no-damaged for like 6 consecutive turns. Oh my god. Attempt 4 is still alive, baby. We ain't dead yet. Oh, fuck. Wait, what? We can't catch the Tyro. I can't use that Pokemon. I can only use Moose. Because Moose is the only one still logically alive. Oh, the crit? Moose is putting in work, dude. Holy. I didn't mean to get into another combat encounter. Do we murder the Psyduck? Moose? Nah, goat. Kinda actually. Comes in on a kinda rough water gun, but it's okay, because we're gonna crit and kill. One turn, easy, for sure. Oh. Moose did all that, and for what? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You've got this, please. Hold on a little bit. Y'all, I think Moose finna die. I ain't even finna lie to you. He might actually. I hate that. That kind of terrifies me. No shot Moose clutches up yet again, right? Surely. Although it's looking like it. Oh? Oh no. No! Okay. So here's the thing, right? Because, according to the fact that like we got the heal and stuff, right, and it revived the two others. Moose was the only one alive still. So that's a reset. We are on to attempt 5. Putting this to set mode before we do anything else. Yeah, and I'm sad, honestly. Moose dying kinda hurts. A little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. That kinda hurts a little bit. Lizard? Okay. One vote so far. I'll wait and see if we get anything else, but it seeming like Lizard's gonna take it. Bad, locked into something right now, so you can't vote? No, that's fine. Alright, Lizard has it. What are we naming our snake? Noodle. I could see Noodle. Spaghetti. Spaghetti could be fun. We can rename it later. If we want to rename it Spaghetti, we can. Also, the house feels really good. Like, it's surprisingly warm in here. I don't really know what to talk about, but like, I don't know. I want to talk about something. I guess I'm gonna just ramble for now. I don't know. Attempt 5, I'm hoping is gonna go good. Or at least I'm hoping I can get back to where we got in attempt 3. Because attempt 3 went really, really good up until it didn't. Only ever played a Nuzlocke on FNAF World? Oh god. That horrifies me. Did you win? Hun? Because if so, that's kinda dope. Also, not yet. Are you in the middle of an attempt? Or are you taking a break from your attempts? Because I know stuff's been a little hectic recently, so I didn't know if you had time. Also, I might be doing 2 streams today, depending on how long I stay streaming on this one. But was playing some yesterday. Cool. Well, I wish you luck. I hope your run goes well. Are you recording it? Like, are you gonna upload it to speedrun.com, or is it just like a playthrough? Just to see if you can type vibe. Speaking of speedrun.com, we need to speedrun Celeste. You haven't lost anybody yet on your second try? That's not bad. Certainly better than our first 4 attempts. Hopefully attempt 5 goes well. And no, just being silly with it? Fair enough. We get the bike again. I might put up the BRB screen real quick, here in a second, once we catch our first encounter, just so that I can go make some more hot chocolate and maybe smoke, depending on if you feel up to it. I don't know though. Kitty, yeah, it's a purloin. Purloins are cool. They're kind of weak. They normally have like really low special and like physical defense, but I mean, they're not terrible Pokemon. Looks like a Marcus. Fair. Also, I have a question for y'all since we have chat doing chat things. Do we randomize our starters for shits and giggles and all of our encounters since we're doing color runs? Yeah, we caught the cricket. What are we naming them? We have to name them. What do we wanna? I think it looks like a Rowan, personally, but that's just me. George? George or Rowan? That's the question. I feel like this Kricketot has murderous intent. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. But like, not in a bad way, necessarily. More so if you've read that specific book. Aw, we could have got the cat. Damn. Oh well. I'm not gonna kill it, there's no point. First of all, I want to check both of their natures and stuff. Serious nature. EXP. As in, like, explain? That book that you have a physical copy of that I was like, hey, can I get time to borrow that? And then I found a copy of it as, like, an audiobook. So... the one with the really pretty cover. Good perseverance? You said no point to cat? Oh! Like I'm saying there was no point in me trying to catch it because I can't catch them. Because point would be EXP. Oh! Fair. I guess I could. I could have bumped them up a level. Oh, speaking of, our level cap is 14 for now. I don't know what our level cap is afterwards, because I don't have it memorized. So the level cap for now is 14. And that level cap ends once we start the battle with Charon. Specifically Charon. So that level cap is still there for the trainers and everything too. That's just like once we start fighting Gym Leader, then it's no longer a thing. I figured we would look at it and see if there was anything worth buying. Also, we get to see Driftveil and all of its updated glory, because Driftveil is supposed to be updated, since it's the later game. Also, can y'all still hear the game? I assume so, but... Yes, gotcha. Let's do this, youngster Terrell. Been busy in some games. Good luck with your run. You're heading out. That's fair. Thank you for stopping by. Have a good night. I hope that your rest of your break is good, and I hope that when you go back to school, that is not too bad. Thank you again for coming by stream, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Lawtalk will not burn us alive, hopefully. And hopefully nobody steals my stuff at work. True, true. Hopefully this new phone doesn't get stolen when I get a new phone. Also, we do get an encounter because we got Route 20. So we get one encounter. We haven't killed our encounter yet. Nice, we critted. Hell yeah. That's a level up, baby. Let's go, level 9. I'm gonna toss Rowan out a little bit, see if we can't get some XP to get some levels. That did absolutely nothing, but it did get the special attack drop, which is good. So the special attack drop gets around the minuscule damage. A little bit more damage would have been cool, but it is what it is. Oh my god, a second crit? Let's go. Rowan gets level 5. Rowan... Yeah, learn endeavor. Replace growl. Oh my, it's a C dot. Okay, cool. We don't get to catch it because they've already... Wait. Have we already killed our encounter? Did we get to catch the fucking C dot? Did I screw up? Did I miscount? I think we do get to catch the C dot, no? I think it was like we haven't gotten our encounter yet because we went to get our encounter and then we like got into the fight with the girl. So I think we get to catch the C dot. Unless I'm tripping. I'm naming the C dot Cornifer. Alright, let's do this. Grab our Pokeball real quick. Into Flossy Ranch, where we get another where we get another encounter. I don't think we get Riolu again. No, this time we get an Azurill. What do we name the Azurill if we catch it? Lily? Okay. Nice. We've been one-balling most of these, which is kind of cool. Normally, you don't get the one-balls. Oh, it's... yeah! Fuck yeah. Okay. I want to see what Lily's nature is once we name her. L. I. L. We also need to heal our Pokemon, like, kind of majorly. First of all, let's check Cornifer's nature, too. Lacks nature, but he's strong-willed. Chlorophyll boosts the speed in Sunshine. Not bad. Proud of its power. Bold nature. Huge power raises the Pokemon's attack stat. And then you have... What does Rowan have again? Because Snivy has the flip stuff. Shed Skin, this Pokemon might heal its own status problems. Pog. Also, because we can heal outside of battle, I am going to do so very quickly. Maybe. We'll see if Noodle cannot tank everything. I don't have high hopes for them, because it's gonna be a lot, and they're at a type disadvantage for part of it. But it's worth a shot, you know? He is again starting with his Tailo, though. That did, like, nothing. What is it with the Snivy and getting crits? Thank you, Noodle. Holy shit. Noodle's gotten back-to-back crits. This is a risky play, but I'm swapping in Lily. Fuck. That's what I was hoping wouldn't happen. Oh my god. Please, dude, I don't want to have to reset, and I'm sad enough already because I've lost 2 Pokemon. Then I lose Rowan, because if I swap, what do I do? Do I swap into Cornifer? Like, he's even lower HP. Oh, we outspeed for a Bullet Seed. That hits for literally nothing. Cornifer, I take it all back. You're a god. Clutch, please. I'm hoping Cornifer can live like a few more turns at most. Hopefully. I want Cornifer to survive, but I think we reset here, honestly. Yeah. Damn. Okay. Oh man, I popped my backs. That felt amazing. I'm sad that we lost that attempt, but also I learned a good bit. Which one do we go with, do you think? Do we go with Tepig again? Or do we go with, like, one of the other Pokemons? Because I'm good for whatever. I think we do Tepig again. It's worth a shot. I'm thinking we name them Wilbur. I feel like Wilbur fits because they're a pig. Hopefully this run goes good. Charlotte's Web reference, yeah. I just realized we've almost been streaming for 2 hours. Quiet-natured. And he has Blaze. Cool. Wait, how much did it say his health was? Oh, he has level 6. 24, 7 XP to level 7. He learns stab type move, Blaze. Cool, cool, cool. I think I might... I think I might call stream here for now, since this is a decent stopping point. And I will come back to it later today, but I'm a little sleepy, and I need to go ahead and download the footage from the other stream that we did, so if it's still available, so that I can edit it and everything. So I will be back later, but for now, I think I'm gonna end stream. Thank you for coming and vibing.